November 10th, 2020. It's Tuesday. We're pulling a doubleheader here on PSR. That's right. UFC Vegas 14. We're here to break this bad boy down. Not only giving you some predictions, but also going to give you that DraftKings look as well. Things look a little different here. I ain't got those headphones on no more. Got a handy dandy microphone. We're back in the game. We're looking sophisticated with the $1,000 Gucci's. We got the headband on today. I'm gonna get PSR across the front. We're gonna switch the game up on you a little bit. I brought my big brain friend with me, Mr. Brady DFS by the numbers. What's up, good brother?
What's up? Really looking forward to this week. Had a really good last week. Got 10th place. I needed Barcelos instead of Romanov, believe it or not, to get that first place. But, 10th place nonetheless. Can't complain there. You have the new look. We have some contender series tonight. It's going to be a good night here.
Ooh, we're bringing you that heat. We're bringing you hours of content tonight. So if you're new to this, if you like the content, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, because you never know when we're going to go live. We're live about 7 days a week. Also, if you like it, hit that thumbs up. That's how YouTube knows you enjoy what we got going here. So, before we dig into it, all this is sponsored by PSR, Pub Sports Radio. So shout out to your boss, El Jefe, Big P, the whole PSR army. We're here to take over. We didn't come to take part. We came to take over. So like I said, hit that subscribe and catch us here after this for the Contender Series. But until then, boom, let's break down this card. First fight on the card, we got Tony Gravely coming in facing Geraldo de Freitas. What you think about this, Brady?
Yeah, this fight is really hard to call, and you'll notice like throughout this whole card, a lot of these fights are really close. The past couple of weeks have been really chalky. I think like 3 or 4 favorites have won in the last 3 weeks. So I do think there's going to be a decent amount of live dogs here. And from a DraftKings perspective, it's kind of fun because you can make pretty much any lineup you want this week, in my opinion. The biggest favorite on the card, I'm not even comfortable with, which I believe is, Julian Marquez. I think he's the biggest favorite, and I'm not really comfortable with him. So it's going to be one of those weeks where I think there are going to be a lot of live dogs, and I think there's one here with Geraldo de Freitas, and this fight is so close. I mean, watching tape on de Freitas, there's not much tape on this guy. There's only like 3 or 4 fights out there, but from what I've seen, he looks really good. His striking's really good. He has insane cardio. He can strike really good all the way into the 3rd round. His takedown defense is really bad, but his ground game is really good. I believe he's a black belt in BJJ as well. And the thing about Tony Gravely, he's a really good wrestler, like extremely good wrestler. And I do favor him in this fight, but the problem with Gravely is he's been submitted 5 times in his career. Going against a black belt and de Freitas, it's very, very sketchy here. I do think de Freitas is live. And on the feet, I think de Freitas is a really good striker as well. And I think this fight's going to be extremely close. I can see this being a really close split decision, or I can even see de Freitas maybe even submitting him for the 6th time in his career. Gravely's been submitted a ton. So, in a fight where he's going to be on the mat with the black belt, it's really sketchy here. Been going back and forth. I don't know where I'm going to lean here. I guess I'll lean de Freitas for now. But it should be a really good fight. And as for DraftKings, 7,500 for de Freitas, I think there's going to be a lot of groundwork. I think there's going to be a lot of advances, reversals for sure. Even takedowns. I think de Freitas can even get takedowns. He has some really good wrestling, and Gravely's takedown defense isn't the best. So I think whoever wins this fight is going to score a ton. And it being the first fight of the night, I think that will lower the ownership a little bit. And I love targeting the first fight of the night. Targeted a ton last week with Lopez. He got that first round finish. And I think the winner in this fight is probably optimal with all the groundwork that's going to be done, multiple takedowns, advances, all that good stuff. So the lean is de Freitas at 7,500, but I will for sure have some Gravely at 8,700. He definitely has some slate breaking potential.
Ooh, I like that. Coming out the gate with a dog pick. One of the sponsors here on Pub Sports Radio is MyBookie.ag. If you use code PubSports on MyBookie.ag for a 50% bonus on your cash deposit, must be minimum of $99, but you get 100% bonus on your Bitcoin deposit, minimum $100 if you use Bitcoin. On MyBookie.ag, we got de Freitas coming in. The comeback is plus 130 on them, and Gravely's coming in a minus 160 favorite. So coming out the gate with the dog pick, I like that. Let's roll on to the next one. The next one we got Murata. There we go. Hey, we got some serious names on this one. Especially on that Contender Series.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes.
I can't. I ain't even going to try to say that one later. Murata versus Random Marcos. Let's check these odds out before you get it. So Random Marcos is coming in with the comeback plus 140 with I don't know why that name is so hard for me. Kaneko. We're just going to call her Kaneko minus 170. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, this is a fight I have not really looked into much as of yet. I still have to do a little bit more tape. From what I can see, Murata is a really good wrestler, really good submission threat as well. And Marcos, I'm kind of upset with her. I mean, in her last fight against Mackenzie Dern, all she literally had to do was stay on the feet, and she wins the fight. Dern didn't even take her down. I mean, Dern fell down, and Marcos, went to the ground with Dern, got submitted shortly after. I called it right then and there. She's going to get submitted. So I really question the IQ. She's 35 years old, 10-9. I'm just not overly high on her, and especially on DraftKings, she doesn't really score high. So this is probably going to be a fight I'm not all that excited to play. Murata, she has finished 54% of her wins, 36 coming by submission. Marcos has been submitted twice. I do see this fight hitting the mat. Maybe there can be a submission from either side here. Murata was finished, but it was a long time ago. So I think she's definitely cleaned that up. Definitely go with Murata here as of now. Like I said, I still have to do a decent amount more tape of both fighters here, but the lean's Murata. I'm not a big fan of Marcos. I think she's going to go 10-10 after this fight, making her 500. 35 years old. Not impressed with her there. But as for DraftKings, 8,600 for Murata. If there's a lot of takedowns and stuff, which she does look like a decent wrestler, maybe some advances, maybe she finds a sub, I think it could be decent. And nobody's probably going to play this fight, and I don't blame anybody for not, but it could be one of those sneaky plays at 8,600. But other than that, this fight is a big pass. Even from a betting perspective, it's going to be a big pass for me.
Ooh, no women's MMA for Brady on this one.
Nope.
So, I like that. Let's hit that chat up real quick. We got 31 of y'all in here. We appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us. If you could hit that like button, that will be highly, highly appreciated. That's how YouTube knows you enjoy what we got going here. Me and Brady are going to start this, the new time slot, boys. So around 6:15 Central, 7:15 Eastern. We're going to be bringing you right here, bringing you a quick breakdown as we lead into the contender series. So if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification, and let's get on to this next one. Next up, we got Luis Smolka versus Jose Quinones. Let's check these odds on mybookie.ag. They don't have them in order, but hey, we're going to scroll to find them. We got Smolka coming in a minus 135 and the comeback on Quinones a plus 105. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, this fight should be really exciting, and I do think it's a really important fight on DraftKings as well. Luis Smolka, he is 16-7 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5 fights. I do think he's fought the better competition, but Jose Quinones has fought some good competition as well. I believe it was his last fight where he did fight Sean O'Malley. I had a ton of Sean O'Malley on DraftKings. I was really upset because they didn't give Sean O'Malley a knockdown in that fight when it was clear as day he knocked down Quinones. And honestly, I'm not impressed with Quinones at all, and I'm actually kind of confused at the line. I know it's really hard to trust someone like Luis Smolka, who has been finished a decent amount, but Jose Quinones, he's just not impressive to me. Quinones has only finished 40% of his wins, 10% by submission, so he's finished one of his wins by submission. The dude has jiu-jitsu tattooed on his chest, and he only has one submission win, so that just tells you right there. I think this guy's kind of a fraud here. So Quinones has been finished 3 times, twice by knockout, once by submission. I think Smolka is going to get him out of here. It looks like Quinones, especially in the O'Malley fight, it looked like he didn't want to be hit, and as soon as he got hit, he covered up. He pretty much quit in there. So I think Smolka is probably going to finish him. I don't understand the line. I see a lot of people betting Quinones. I don't understand that. I guess you could look at it from this perspective. Maybe Quinones goes out here and does get takedowns because he does average 2.58, and Smolka does have a 30% takedown defense, but still, I think Smolka is the much better fighter. I think he's the much more dangerous fighter. So I got to go with Smolka here, and especially the upside as well. At 8,400, I will have a decent amount. Will I have some Quinones? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think his upside's really there. I think if he does win, it's probably some kind of decision.
Nice, very nice. And you guys see this spreadsheet, this handy-dandy spreadsheet. This is sponsored and is brought to you by the big brain himself. Comes straight out of my man's brain. Color-coded, you see it. If you're watching the replay or even the live and you see me scrolling through it and you want to get just pause the video, take you a little look at it. There's some stats on there. So we're rolling through this lightning fast, but the info is there. So take your time, pause it. dig into it. It's sponsored by Brady. Shout out to him. Shout out to the big brain. Also, guys, if you could scroll down a little bit where you hit the like button, hit that share link. We want to start trying to build this bigger and bigger, which we are. We're going to get to where it's going to be a super banger. We need your help. Share the link to your Facebooks, your Twitters, your MySpaces, your cousins, your sexy girlfriend. I don't care. Just let's get some people in here. So next up on the card, we got Alex Morono versus Rhys McKee. Let's check these odds on mybookie.ag. We got Alex Morono coming in at minus 190, and the comeback on McKee is plus 155. What do you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, so this fight is very interesting, and I think it could be another live dog spot. At first I thought Rhys McKee was a bum. I mean, just some recency bias. I mean, Chimaev went out there and absolutely dominated him, but actually going back and looking at his fights, like, I think he's decent. He does look a little small for the weight class, like in his structure, but he is going to be 6'2". So he's kind of like a skinny guy, but he's going to be the taller guy here by about 3 inches. He's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage as well, which I do think is going to be important here in a fight where they're mostly going to be striking. And the thing about Alex Morono, first of all, I don't really like the guy, especially in his last fight, he was like minus 300 against Khaos Williams. Williams went on there and knocked him out in like 20 seconds. I really do question the chin of Morono, who's been knocked out like 2 times. And I actually think this fight's going to be close. I think the striking is really close between the two. You could actually argue that McKee is actually the better striker. McKee's actually, finished 100% of his wins, 70% by knockout, 30% by submission. And Morono, I don't really like the guy. He doesn't really have the best IQ. He has a BJJ black belt, but the dude's never used it. Trying to, with offensive wrestling wise, if he's on his back, sure, he'll use it, but he's not going out there trying to pursue the takedowns. He has 0 takedowns landed in the UFC, which I like again for McKee. So as weird as it sounds, I think McKee's really live here, and just him, finishing 100% of his wins, Morono getting finished twice in his 6 losses. I think McKee at 7,300 is very interesting. Very low level fight here, but I'm gonna probably take McKee here. 7,300. I think there's some decent upside on DraftKings as well, especially if he's getting the finish. As for Morono, a decent finisher. McKee has been knocked out twice himself. Morono has finished 64% of his wins. If it does hit the mat, he has a huge advantage. The problem is he just doesn't get it there. So I would never, ever bet on Morono, especially at minus 190. It's definitely dog or pass for me, but probably a pass for sure.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice breakdown, sir. Shout out to the chat. Let's roll this chat real quick. We're making good time. We got Sleepy Joe, the guy that came out with the lines for Mr. Arkansas's The Mecca. Shout out to Sleepy Joe. FN in the building. Flores, Young Bula, Billy Brisbane. Shout out to your brother. We got James Pomeroy, Killer G, Brandon N, Alex Ramirez in the building. What's up, brother? We got Big Thomas, Unknown Magician. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Boston Nick MMA. What's up, brother? Big Zo Mega in the building. Brandon N, UFC Shark. And then I saw this one right here. What you think about this, Brady? Big Zo Mega. Yo, a guy at work today was talking about how he's been tailing and watching Brady, Small World. Hey, Brady's out here changing lives worldwide, son.
That's awesome. Small World, really.
Shout out to you. And hey, guys, if we have enough time, we're going to bring a special guest in at the end and touch on some Contender Series picks. We'll get Brady's if we have time. I see some people asking. So we got 42 of y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us on this Tuesday. This will from now on be the lead into the Contender Series coming up. So, but also if you're looking to bulk up, you trying to be jacked like Brady, you need to visit bulksupplements.com. Enter promo code PubSports to get 5 to 10% off your first purchase. That's bulksupplements.com. Next fight on the card, we got Miranda Granger coming in versus Ashley Yoder. Let's check those odds out on mybookie.ag. We have Granger coming in a minus 135, and the comeback on Yoder is plus 105. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, so I'll throw this out. I do have a bet on Granger. It's my only bet so far for the week. I got her at minus 107, though, so the line has been getting wider and wider, and rightfully so. It opened up minus 170, and I actually think that opener was perfect. That's where it should be because Granger, just in the striking alone, I think she's a much better striker. She's been training since she was 4 years old. She got her a Taekwondo black belt at 12 years old. So she's been fighting for a long time. And, when she came into her UFC debut, and I was really confused because I thought she was kind of a grappler because all of her wins pretty much are coming by submission. 71% of them coming by submission. And she went in there against Hannah Goldie, I believe, and she outstruck her for 3 rounds, which was really impressive to me. And a lot of people were on Hannah Goldie there. So her striking looks amazing. I think she's the much better striker, much better output. Ashley Yoder, she's not, she doesn't throw much. Her defense is really bad. She kind of has that Cachoeira striking defense, which you don't like to see. And Yoder, I believe they call her the spider monkey, and she takes these girls' backs and just does nothing with it at all. Like, she takes these girls down and does nothing with it. And in these fights where she does have some top control, she's still losing a lot of these fights. So from what I've seen, Granger does look pretty active off the mat. She's looking for submissions. She's looking for reversals. I like that. Could Yoder take down Granger? I think she could. But I do like what I see from Granger on the mat. And I was kind of wondering what belt she was in BJJ. She looks like she has some decent experience. Finishing 71% of her wins, that's really impressive there. So I do lean Granger. I think if it does get on the mat, it could be a little iffy. But whenever it's on the feet, it's clear as day going to be Granger here. So as for DraftKings, I'm not going to be playing Yoder. She's someone who scores very low. Like, she gets these takedowns and does nothing with it. She doesn't get ground strikes. She doesn't really get advances. And as for Granger, maybe. She's finished a lot of her fights. She's finished 85% of her wins. She throws with some really high output. But I don't know. Yoder has never been finished. So probably going to be a pass from DraftKings for the most part. If you want to get a little bit different, play some Granger. But I really don't want nothing to do with this fight. But I do have a bet on Granger at -107.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice to know. There's your little tidbit of information for you boys out there. So shout out to some people in the chat. I see you, Skywalker DFS. You guys go subscribe to Skywalker DFS. Go support the homie. We got MMA Locker Room, Millie Mills, baby. What up, brother? Go support the homie as well. Let's see. We also got 2 cents. Want to catch the boys that just came in. You know what I mean? Connor, making a Mac. What's up, brother? 7 Ninjas. What's up, brother? Big David Price. So shout out to each and every one of y'all for rocking with this gang, brother. Mother Machine. My brother Brady have been rocking forever. Hey, let's go, brother. Good job, David Price. You're the man. Good brother. You're the man. Next up, we got, I'm not mad at this one. You know what I mean? We got little Miss Kay Hansen coming in facing Cory McKenna. Let's go see what the odds on mybookie.ag are. We got Kay Hansen coming in a -220 favorite, and the comeback on McKenna is +180. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, so probably have to dig into this one a little bit more, but, just from what I see, McKenna, decent on the mat. Her striking is not really there. And I watched a decent amount of her fights, and it seemed like pretty much every fight I watched, she was getting taken down easy. She's more than content to be off her back. And I think that's a really bad stylistic matchup here against someone in Kay Hansen who has, not the best striking herself. You could probably, favor McKenna in the striking here. But the problem is McKenna looks to have really, really poor takedown defense. And this fight's weird. Both of them are very young, 21 years old. You can definitely expect big improvements each and every fight. But in a stylistic matchup here, I think it favors Hansen quite a bit. If they're going to be on the mat, which I'm like 95% sure they will be on the mat, you probably got to favor Hansen. She's very good on the mat. She has finished 50% of her wins by submission. And she did get that submission winner last fight against Jinyu Fry, who is, I call her Jinyu Fraud because she's not that great. But, she was able to submit her, but her striking looked really bad. What'd you say the line was for Hansen? Like -210, you said?
Hansen is -220 on mybookie.ag.
Yeah, I would never ever play Hansen at -220 or -210 around there. I think she needs some work a lot in her striking, but this just seems like a matchup that she'll probably come out here and maybe get a submission or something or a decision. And she's 9,200 on DraftKings. No way. She's very low volume on the feet. What she's going to have to do to pay off that price tag is to get a first round submission. Is it possible? I guess, but I do think it's way, really unlikely there. So I'm not going to have much Kay Hansen. As for McKenna, I guess she's live, I guess. But then again, I just don't see this fight really scoring well unless there's a submission on either side. Maybe it's on the Hansen side, but 9,200 is a lot.
True that. Yeah, like it seems like McKenna, she can grapple, and that's where it might go. But it seems like Hansen's probably going to be a little bit better grappler. So probably catch that sub. But that is a nice little price, a nice price to pay. So we'll take a little pause and calls. Want to shout out to each and every one of you on the chat for rocking with us on this Tuesday, the lead into the Contender Series. Also, all this is powered by Pub Sports Radio. That's right, PSR. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. We got merch. You know what I'm saying? Here's the logo. Me and Nikki got a shirt. RSP, Razor Sharp Picks, is coming out with a banger. There's a Fight Island shirt. There's some bangers of some content. If you want to support the cause, go over to pubsportsradio.com, copy a shirt, come join the nation. And also shout out to Mr. Arkansas. He's putting on a competition called the Mecca. We got a lot of the PSR boys, a lot of the Pub Sports Radio boys in that jank, live in it. One of them is right here. I call him the big fish in the pond. The thing is he's going up against another PSR boy this week, Guru, talking about the Super Bowl of the whole thing it could be. We get it first round in the Mecca. It's not just a UFC prediction game. It's also a social experience. You've seen Big Brother. You've seen Survivor. That's right. Take that with UFC predictions on YouTube, StreamYard, Twitter, IG. There's going to be eliminations. If you lose, you go to the bottom half. If you really suck that week, you're up for elimination. You got to make tight with people. You got to make alliances so you don't get voted out, because it's a vote. The bottom two get voted out. You know what I'm saying? So it's an experience. Some people are going to be hot. We got Brady in it. We got Nikki in it. We got Millie Mills in it. We got Guru in it. We got who else am I? Billy. We got Billy Brisbane in it. So I think those are the PSR boys. Oh, we got Big Show Picks, BSP in the building. Paul White, he's in it. Just My 2 cents. That's right, he's in it. Boom. So we got some killers in it. We see Guru in the chat. I see you, brother. He's saying McKenna's going to win. There you go. MMA prediction guru in the building. So we kind of see that might be a matchup. That might be a game changer right there, boys.
We're probably going to be different on that one, honestly. So that could be a big one there.
Oh, that might be a game changer. That's what you get with the Mecca. So make sure you slide over to Mr. Arkansas's channel, hit that subscribe button. We want to get him to 1.5. Let's get this man to 1.5K subs. Let's help him grow. He puts a lot of work. This competition is going to be banging. I'm going to be being a mouthpiece for it. So we got a lot of PSR boys in it. Slaughter, the man, the myth, the legend, El Jefe, he wanted to be in it, but there just wasn't enough slots. That tells you how many people are wanting to be in it. So we're going to be covering it from start to finish. Slide over to Mr. Arkansas channel now. Go comment on one of the making videos. Tell them that you're a PSR boy and let them know that we sent you, and hit that subscribe button. Because if he gets to 1.5, then that pot doubles. It goes from like 150 to 300 or something like that. It doubles. So we got to get him to 1.5. Slide over there. There's 50 people in here. If you're not subscribed, y'all hit that jank. So that's that. And also, if you're not subscribed here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Also, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. So let's slide into the next fight. Next fight, we got Eryk Anders versus Antonio Arroyo on mybookie.ag. We have, let me find it because they don't put them in order on this bad boy. Here we go. We have Anders coming in a minus 135. Arroyo's coming in a plus 105 dog. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, from a DraftKings perspective, Eryk Anders at 8,500. I'm not really interested in. If he's going to hit value here, he's going to need a first-round knockout. If he does not get that first-round knockout, he's not going to hit value. He's someone who's very low volume. Someone I'm not really a big fan of. He has some decent wrestling, but hasn't really went to it as of late as much as he probably should. And then this fight, I'm honestly more impressed, watching a little bit of Antonio Arroyo. And he is going to be at a little bit of a reach disadvantage here, about 1.5 reach disadvantage, but he will be at a height advantage of 2. And I think he's the better striker, really good leg kicks. He has a really good head kick as well. On the mat, he's very good as well. He was able to last on the mat with somebody I'm really high on in Andre Muniz. He was able to not get submitted there, which actually is really impressive there. But he has been submitted twice in his career, but that was like a few years ago. So he definitely patched that up. Both guys have never been knocked out. This is honestly not a fight I'm too high on playing. If anything, I'll probably go on the Arroyo side. He has some pretty decent output. I think he has more output than Anders. Could Anders come out here and take him down and control him? Maybe he could do that. Maybe he wins a boring decision, but even then, that's not going to score high. I think I'm going to go with Arroyo here at 7,700 as a dog. Probably might even pick him straight up. I'm just not high on Anders whatsoever. So give me Arroyo here. But this fight is probably not going to score high. I will say, though, Arroyo has finished 88% of his wins. I think he's finished every single win besides one. So that's something to think about there. But Arroyo for me, and probably going to have very little of Anders because he needs that first-round knockout to pay off.
Very nice. Very nice breakdown, sir. I see you in the chat. We got the chat's popping over there. We're on a time crunch, so can't go through all you. I see you, Big Cameron, Justin Jr. in the building, the young phenom. I see you. Keep doing what you're doing, kid. And we got Guru in the chat, Killer G, Bloodthirsty. We see you. Let's hit this next one up. We got Sean Strickland coming in facing Brendan Allen. Let's go to mybookie.ag. Let's see how them bad boys is looking. We got, this is a pick 'em, boys. Straight up pick 'em. What you think about it? Brady?
Yeah, pick him indeed. Like, this fight is really hard to call, and this was the very last one I did look into. Probably need to look into it a little bit more. I went and tried to find the takedown defense of Sean Strickland. How's his takedown defense? How is he off of his back? How is he on top? Because this fight's definitely going to probably touch the mat here. His takedown defense is pretty good. The only thing is he's sitting at an 81% takedown defense. He hasn't really fought many wrestlers is something I noticed. Of course, he did fight Kamaru Usman. Usman was able to take him down 2 times. Kamaru Usman even dropped him as well. Which was very interesting there. And I don't know. I think Strickland is the much better striker, and really it's not even close. It's just I feel like this fight's going to be on the mat, and at that point, Strickland could be in trouble. But from what I've seen, like Strickland's submission defense is on point. He fights well off his back, throws up submissions. He plays safe off his back as well. When he's on top, he looks very good. Great ground and pound as well. And, Brendan Allen is someone that definitely did slow down in his last fight. He was supposed to fight Ian Heinish's last fight. And I was picking him here, but I'm probably going to go on the Sean Strickland side. And it's weird. I see a lot of love for Brendan Allen. I don't know what it is. But this is going to be a really good fight. It's very, very close. I am flipping back and forth, but, Strickland being the better striker, I think that alone, I think it should be probably a slight favorite. And he did open up, I believe, a slight favorite as well. So give me Strickland here. But I will have a bunch of this fight. I do think this has a decent shot of finishing, whether it is Brendan Allen getting the first round submission or whether it's Strickland getting a late finish. I think it's very, very possible that this does end inside the distance. But Allen, very high level of the mat. He's been doing good against. He submitted Kevin Holland, who's a black belt. Sean Strickland, I believe, is a brown belt. But from what I've seen, Strickland looks decent on the mat. Is it decent enough to stop Allen from submitting him? Maybe. But overall, it's a really close fight here.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Next up on the card, we got Dontel Mays coming in at his salary is $9,000. I said, wow, wee, wow. I got a little bit of CT. Don't judge me. I don't judge you. Dontel Mays coming in $9,000 on DK. Royk? Did I hit that right, Brady?
Royk Martinez. Yep.
Royk Martinez. It spells like Rogue, but we're going to say Royk. There we go. Fix that name. Royk Martinez coming in $7,200 on DraftKings. Let's slide over to mybookie.ag. We have Dontel Mays coming in a -220 favorite, and Martinez coming in the comeback +180. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, so the thing with heavyweight fights, I mean, either, it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to end quick and be kind of exciting, or it's going to be one of those big, sweaty, heavyweight fights that go into a decision, not much output, and I'm definitely leaning more towards that. Royk Martinez, he's going to have a little bit of a weight disadvantage, I guess. But Mays is going to have a massive height and a massive reach advantage. So Mays is 6'6", compared to Martinez being 5'10", and Mays also has an 81.5-inch reach, and Martinez has a 72-inch reach there. So really, really big size advantage for Mays here. He's going to be the younger fighter as well, and I'm not really impressed with the guy. He's finished 72% of his wins, 29% by KO, 43% by submission. Martinez has a 73% finish rate himself, but honestly, I probably see this going to decision. Martinez has a pretty good chin. I believe Martinez has only one knockout loss on his record, and I believe that knockout loss was a cut stoppage, I believe. But as for Mays, he has been finished in all of his losses, and I really want nothing to do with Mays at 9,000. He's definitely going to need a first-round finish to pay off this price tag. If anything, I'll probably play some Royk Martinez at 7,200. I mean, I would never trust Mays at 9,000 here. And although he's going to be at a really big size and reach advantage, I just don't really trust the guy. So Martinez, 7,200, I'll probably have a little bit. It is a heavyweight fight. A lot of heavyweight fights do tend to finish. And I guess I'll take a little bit of shot on the dog. Am I going to pick Mace straight up? Yeah, probably. Just having the physical advantages with the reach and the height is enough for me to pick him here. But I really want nothing to do with that $9,000 price tag.
Ooh, nice breakdown, sir. Next up on the card, we got Julian Marquez versus Saparbek Safarov. We got, let's go to mybookie.ag, check these odds out. We got Marquez coming in a -300 favorite. Safarov coming in the comeback +240. What's your breakdown on this, Brady?
Yeah, another fight I need to look into a little bit more. But from what I've seen, like, I don't know if Marquez should be that big of a favorite. I know Safarov is maybe not UFC caliber, not the most impressive fighter at all, but he's a huge favorite. And he's someone that, gets taken down a lot. 52% takedown defense. Safarov does have, averages 2.52 takedowns per 50 minutes with a 41% accuracy. And what I noticed in a lot of Marquez's fights that I've watched, he takes a lot of beating. A lot of fights he comes back after taking beating as well. He lost his last fight. And Safarov, I mean, he's bad, but if he can take down Marquez, maybe he can, get some ground and pound. He's not going to submit him or nothing like that, but really a sketchy fight here. But I will say this, it's going to finish. Both these guys have really questionable gas tanks, especially Safarov. I don't really see this getting into the later rounds or even probably the third round. I think it's probably going to finish in the either first or the first half of the second. So for that reason, I am interested. But the problem is 9,400 for Marquez on DraftKings. That is a lot, but if he does get that first round finish, I think it could pay off. I do think he's the much better fighter here. It's just really, really sketchy. So I'm going to pick him to win. I'm definitely not going to bet it. Maybe look at the under 1.5 if it's a good line there, but very sketchy fight here.
Very, very sketchy. Let's get on to this co-main event. This co-main event of the evening. We have Abdul, Razak, Alhassan versus Khaos Williams. MyBookie.ag, the lines are, we got Alhassan coming in a -235. The comeback on Khaos is +195. What you think about it, Brady?
So this is the fighter I'm probably going to have all my exposure on, or at least most of my exposure on. Alhassan, he did lose his last fight to Munir Lazez, which actually turned out to be a pretty solid fighter there. A lot of people were really confident on Alhassan, including me. So definitely got burned there. But against Khaos Williams here, Williams is the dude that came in there and knocked out Alex Morono in like 20 seconds. I think the line is definitely reflecting that. Alhassan coming off a loss, Morono coming, what's his face? Williams coming off of that win against Morono. I think that line is really reflecting that because I think Alhassan should be a much bigger favorite here. The dude has a 100% finish rate. He hits like an absolute truck. Like, this dude hits hard. And, a lot of these hard hitters typically don't throw volume. They're really low volume just to load up on that one shot. But Alhassan lands almost 5 significant strikes per minute. So he's not only throwing really hard, he's throwing a ton. And I definitely like that about him, my bad. And, Khaos Williams, he went in there really sloppy against Morono, was able to knock him out. And watching tape on Williams, he does leave a ton of openings. He backs up with his hands down, and he's definitely there to be hit. And that seems like a recipe for disaster against Alhassan. So I think this fight's going to end very quick. I think it's going to end in the first round. Williams, I don't believe, has ever been knocked out. Alhassan has definitely never been knocked out, but yeah, Williams has never been knocked out. Both guys have never been knocked out. I think that's definitely going to change here. I will have some Williams at 7,100 because they are going to throw down. It is going to be an absolute war for as long as it lasts, but I do think the much better technical striker is Alhassan. I think the harder hitter is Alhassan, and I'm going to have a lot of them at 9,100. I think he gets that first round KO.
Nice. Shout out to the chat. We got 52 of y'all. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for rocking with us on this Tuesday. Justin Jr., listen up, kid. We're doing a breakdown on our channel on the Contender Series. Why the heck would I allow you to promote you doing the same thing, champ? Think with your head. I'm not going to ban you on that, but think with your head, Justin Jr. But shout out to each and every one of y'all. We got 55. Biggest crowd yet, Brady. We're building each week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Also, Brady, before we hit it, real quick, you'll let them know where they can find you and what you got going.
Yep, you guys can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers, Instagram, DFS by the numbers, and I am on YouTube, as most of you probably know, DFS by the numbers. I did post a Contender Series breakdown for the first time. I made my debut, put a lot of work into that. If you want to go check that out, the fights start in like 20 minutes here. So I'm also doing my full card breakdown predictions, and my DraftKings video should be out sometime tomorrow.
Very nice. And you can find me at MoScreenFightP1 on Twitter. Also on here on Pub, you can find me Monday for Monday Night Football, Tuesday right here with Brady, and double dipping. We're going Contender Series after this. Me, Brady, Nick, Guru. We'll see who else, if anybody else jumps in. Wednesday, off day for me, but you can find Millie Mills on here, seconds out, and him and Guru breaking down the Bellator card right before. Thursday, we got if there's a Bellator card, wham, bam, boom, we're covering that. If not, covering just Thursday Night Football, but we'll be covering both this week. We got a Bellator card, a pretty one at that. Friday, we got Talking Hands, where me, Slaughterhouse, Big P, the big brain right here, big boy genius down there. He might even be showing off the tattoos this week, boys. So be sure to rock with us on that one. Then Saturday, right here, wham, bam, boom, UFC. It's kind of like our Monday Night Raw. We break it down from start to finish, live bet that bad boy. Also, Tuesday, Thursday, you can find RSP, Razor Sharp Picks, breaking his stuff down. Connor Mack, you can find him Saturday morning, Sunday morning, breaking down college football, NFL. So we're hitting it from all angles. You know, we even got reality shows over there with Ark, so check Ark out as well. So let's dig into this main event. Next up, main event, we got Raphael dos Anjos, RDA, coming in, your minus 185 favorite on mybookie.ag, and the comeback on the late notice replacement, Paul Felder, is plus 155. What you think about it, Brady?
Yeah, so late notice and replacement indeed. 5 days notice here for Paul Felder. Is he going to be ready? They said he was training for some type of event. I'm not sure what it was, but I'm assuming he's coming here ready if he's going to take the fight. And I do need to look into this a little bit more, but RDA coming down to 155 pounds, I think that's going to benefit him a lot. In his past couple fights, he has been the smaller guy. I think that's hurt him, especially against Michael Chiesa's last fight. He looked really, Chiesa looked like the much stronger guy. So I think coming down here is going to help him out a decent amount. And as for the fight goes, I think the striking, I think the volume of Dos Anjos is really going to help him here. And I think the takedowns of Dos Anjos can definitely come. We'll take a look at Paul Felder's takedown defense. It's sitting around 61%. His takedown defense looks okay, but I do think, RDA can definitely get him down here. And I'm going to lean RDA for a couple reasons here. I think that, since he's had pretty much a full camp for this fight, Felder coming in on 5 days short notice, I think that's not the best sign. And this being 5 rounds, I believe it's Felder's second 5-round fight in his career here. And I'm going to take the guy that, has been preparing for this fight. Not for this fight, but preparing for a fight. I think it's going to pay dividends here. I checked his Instagram, and he looks in fantastic shape. Like, RDA looks fantastic. So I like that about him. I think just with the takedowns, I think the volume on the feet, as long as he doesn't get knocked out, I can definitely see him winning a decision. So Paul Felder has not been submitted in 23 fights. I don't know if he's going to be able to submit him here. Maybe he's able to, but I'm going to take RDA to win by decision. Did you say the line on that one?
Let's see the line on mybookie.ag. You get RDA at minus 185. Felder is plus 155.
Yeah, I actually don't mind that line, but I do need to look into it a little bit more. I think it's a decent matchup here, especially with Felder coming in on short notice here. As for DraftKings, 8,800, I think in 5 rounds, with the takedowns of RDA, with maybe some advances, a lot of output on the feet, I do see him paying off that price tag and a win. As for Paul Felder, maybe he's able to get a knockout here. RDA has been knocked out twice in 42 fights. I don't think he has a bad chin or anything, but maybe Felder lands something. Not really, overly confident that happens, but I guess 7,400, that could be okay. But the pick is probably going to be Dos Anjos here.
Very nice, sir. Very nice. Well, that's the breakdown, boys. If you want your boys' breakdowns, that's Friday Talking Hands. You get any changes from Big Brain on Friday. I already rolled through the whole schedule. Rewind about 5 minutes. You get to hear it again. Hit that like button. We're about to go live for Contender Series here shortly. So if you're not subscribed, hit that bell notification so you get the alert. We're coming back at you here shortly. So appreciate each and every one of y'all. We had a record number tonight. Let's keep this growing. Share this link. Let people know we're the lead in to Contender Series. So, yeah. For Brady, this is your boy Mo, PSR, UFC Vegas 14, Felder versus RDA. We done. We out.